City on San Francisco, Jamie.
Yeah. So we are talking about Kizz Daniel today.
My brother.
Valued great.
My brother, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I don't know what that guy is doing, but no, I do know what he's doing. The guy has been doing a template for a long time. Like it's a template. There's a structure, there's a particular sound type, there's a particular way it constructs the hook, and everything moves.
So you think he has like a cheat code or an hack or
It's a
something?
cheat code, brother. It's a cheat code. Jao, Jao. Jao. He said Jao like 5 times. Jumbo, 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 hear me sing. Odo, lo, Buga. Bro, it's... This Odo, I remember I was in this office last week and I was saying, I had the teaser on his Instagram and I was like, bro, I don't like that song. I don't like it at all. But guess what? I knew it's going to enter. Comfortable released something yesterday. It's said to be the second Nigerian song that will debut at #1 across all their metrics. That's radio, TV, streaming platforms, everything.
What is the Kizz Daniel sound?
There's no set sound, there's no uniform sound to. You can't say, oh, everything he does can be pinned down to something.
Yeah.
Do you get? But his singles have a template. Do you get?
Yeah.
Like his singles have a style. There is a method to it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say Woju, Rabba, and Shaba. I'm in love with your body. Let's say those ones were produced by somebody, by one person, and those songs had to have a template. Yeah, no problem. That was his early days. But let's start from like songs that have blown since his debut album, New Era. Or songs like Jumbo, Madru. Which song is there? The one last year. Time for breast and swear. Do you get?
Yeah.
Or Lie. Like the sounds, you can listen to those songs back to back and not feel like something is out of place. Do you get what I mean? Like you can put all those songs on an album and say it's a cohesive album because there is a uniform template to all those songs. It's not exactly the same. The BPMs are not the same, but the construction of those songs, like for example, Buga and Odo are not exactly far from each other. They are not. Like, you cannot, it's not like they are exactly the same.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a template, for example, if you listen to Migos's Kelly Price, or let's say Migos's Bad and Bougie, and you listen to Future's Never Stop, right? There are different types of music. Bad and Bougie is something that you might play. You might even play both of them in the clubs, but Bad and Bougie feels like more of a club banger. But what I'm saying in essence is, are both of them, if somebody wakes you up in the middle of the night and say, what's this sound? You say they are both trap records. Do you understand? Like, variations, but very similar. So the sound feels rooted in like some maybe lower tempo juju type of brand of music. He approaches those songs like people would if someone was making juju in Afropop. Do you get? That's what it sounds like. For example, like in a way, it sounds like something that maybe Olamide made in like 2001, in like 2011. Songs like "Oh Yeah, Turn Up." Do you understand? Or "Ele Damn You." Did you get? Like, it sounds like something that's very, very rooted in Yoruba folk music. Do you understand? rooted in Yoruba folk, then the approach itself is Afro-pop in essence, but it's still very rooted in between something like Juju and like maybe like Fuji, because his voice sounds like the voice of a Fuji artist. Do you get? It's something somewhere in between. Madu. I want to make your body, scatter your body, permit me. Like there is something. Oh my God, look at that girl. Like there is a way, and only he knows how to make songs like that. Nobody else does. Some people have tried. Like the sound has been explored by some people in the past. Let's say Davido has explored some sounds like Kizz Daniel, some sounds that sound like that. Like some songs that seem to just Mayo has explored sounds like that. Like songs like maybe which songs are there? From like 2019, 20 Mayo. Some Mayo songs, aside from the record I did with Kizz Daniel, some Mayo songs sound like they explore, they are leaning towards that sound. Sometimes. Davido, yes, sometimes as well. Especially when some of the songs that Davido, maybe a song like on A Better Time. What's the title of that song again? The song where it feels like everybody is singing it. I can't remember the title of the song now. There's a song on A Better Time that seems like it's cut from that close. Or even the record with Miracle. Yeah, nah, come from the best. You can literally take the two of them off it and put Kizz Daniel there. Literally. Maybe not the style, maybe not the way those guys make the songs, but the style of the beats. With the way Mayo and especially the songs produced by maybe Fresh VDM or Speroch, they're very similar. I think the first time I saw someone explore something like that was like Olamide in like 2011 when he made those records that I mentioned. Turn Up. Do you understand? Like, you could literally get Olamide off Turn Up and put Kizz Daniel there and it's going to fit. He might do something different, but the beats, that's the uniformity when it comes to this.
How do you think the sound has evolved over the years?
The parallel to the sound is there are 3 or 4 or 5 parallels when it comes to characteristics. The beat is very, like I said, the way it constructs his hooks. The hooks are tailored to be resonant. You might not like the song, but you remember the hook. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you might not like it, it might not be your cup of tea, but you just find yourself singing it. And his voice is so good, and his approach with how it forms synergy with the song might be is also so good, but there is a uniformity. Like I said, no Buga. Like, what you money? Like, do you understand? Oh yeah, talk to me, oh mama. There is only Kizz Daniel can make records like that. I don't know how. I've had conversations with people before where they're like, it's just not for me. And guess what? It is working. Everybody knows it. Do you understand? There is a way, there is a method to that madness. He knows, I can see a situation where anytime he's going into the studio, he knows exactly what he's going there to make. Well, okay, so when I tweeted this like on Thursday or Friday, someone was like, it's like, Kizz Daniel just wakes up. It's like, we need another hit. Let's go to the studio and make another hit. To be honest, that's what it feels like, because it feels like he knows exactly what to do that Nigerians are going to like. He makes records for the Nigerian mainstream to consume and go mad over. That is all. Records, especially the Yoruba side, that they will go crazy over. But the brilliance that he employs there is the language is sometimes so mixed in Pidgin and English that it's going to have mass appeal. Like for example, Buga is Yoruba, or maybe a Nigerian colloquialism, but although it's Ghanaian. So that's a West African thing automatically. Do you have to, like, he knows exactly what he's doing. Although Ghanaians are going to listen to it. So that's automatically a West African thing now, not just Nigerian anymore. There's a method to it. it has evolved over the years in the sense that it's gone beyond just Nigerian elements to like Pan-African things. For example, early in the day was like Woju, which is Yoruba, Mama, which is, but it was, talk to me, Mama. Yoruba, essentially. I want to, Madu. The sounds are evolving from like maybe no bad songs. A lot of people talk about like King of Love being a bad album. We've said it several times on the show. King of Love is an incredibly good album. It just so happens that number one, it was released at the wrong time. That was the number one problem. And its reps at the time were also not the greatest when it comes to the Nigerian mainstream. We had some very, very bad PR problems. But when you go and listen to that album, there are some songs on it that you would feel like, aside from Jaho, which was like a single, songs like Yapa, Check, Chana, Hook. Like, you can literally see that nobody else can attack a beat like this guy does it. Like, there is no way. That was, the evolution started from like a no bad songs, but with King of Love was where it started to kind of branch out. No bad songs, it branched out on no bad songs, for example, records like with Nasty C, Reg 32, Bad. I still think Bad is his best song to date. But then you go and listen to records like, there's a record on it that sounds like a traditional record. There's Poco on the album as well, which I forgot to mention. Ja, good to be good. Ja, bad to the bad. You. Do you understand? Like, only this guy can make records like this. So the sound has evolved over the years in the manner, in the way that he approaches those songs, but the entire template still remains the same. Do you understand? He understands the beats, the type of beat to choose. He understands the way to flow on the beats. He understands how to craft the hook, but the elements of those songs have been different over the years. For example, the elements of Buga and Odo are not the same. So, like, it's like he evolves. There's his templates. He knows the type of beat to choose. He knows how to attack the records. He knows how to construct the hook, like we've discussed already. So now the elements of those songs, those are the things that change. For example, Buga and Odo feel like they are cut from the same approach, but they are not the same, and they also have different elements. Does that make sense? Like, for example, the beat of Buga is not exactly the same as the beat of Odo. I'm using the most recent example so that people can understand. But if you sit down from afar off and listen, it feels you might feel like I can see the similarities between these records. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Exactly. But then the way the hooks are constructed, for example, lo 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 Buga, let me see you the Buga, is different from Odoyewu. It's different. Essentially, like the construction is different, but the approach is very similar, and the template is very similar. So a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, that's why a lot of times Kizz Daniel songs tend to age well." Yeah,
True.
And his bodies of work tend to age well. Like, for example, when No Bad Songs came out, a lot of people were saying, why would you name this album No Bad Songs? There's a lot of bad songs on it. Go and listen to No Bad Songs now. Go and listen to No Bad Songs now. You'll just find yourself, oh wow, oh this one, and oh wow. Before you know, you're at the end of the album and everything don't finish. So that's what I think about this guy.
But do you think Kizz Daniel is the only one exploring the sound?
Like I said, Davido, Miyokun, yes. But I think the first time I listened to anybody sort of explore something similar was Olamide, with some of the songs I mentioned, yeah.
Right. Why do you think the sound is so potent right now?
So we live in an era where everybody's overthinking everything. The sound has always been potent. The approach, maybe not the sound, the approach has always been potent. But over the past 2 years, everybody has been obsessed with going international, making sounds for international markets. Yeah. And that's why people like Kizz Daniel and Ashake are blowing everything up. and they're making records that are going international. For example, Buga went international. I said to perform the song at the freaking World Cup, bro. Can you say the same about everybody? But is it an inherently African or Nigerian record? Yes, it is. In a land softly on the sofa floor. What does that mean, bro? That's premium lamba. That is premium lamba. What does that mean on the sofa floor? Are you putting sofa in your on every ground that you're walking on?
Lamba to the world.
Bro, every my guy organize everywhere they go. Put sofa there. Put sofa there. Anyway, the point is it's premium lamba, but guess what? It works. Nobody cares. What the point I'm trying to make is, while everybody was trying to do that, some people were just keeping it real, making songs that people would actually like. And now they're going international with it. That's why it's so potent. It's not like it looks so potent right now. It feels like, people are finally seeing the parallels. But a lot of people in the industry had been seeing the parallels for a long time. People have been seeing it for a very long time. It just so happens that a lot of people are just connecting the dots now between maybe Lie to Put Down for Breast and Swear to Buga to Odona. Like, oh wow. But a lot of people have been noticing this thing for a long time. You are just late to the party, that's all.
Interesting. Why do some people dislike the Kizz Daniel sound?
Because it seems repetitive and it seems very lazy sometimes. Do you understand? Like, the approach, you've heard it so much, you're like... But 4 weeks later, when they knock you for club...
Oh my God.
For example, I couldn't start on door when I heard it. But I'm like, what the hell? I still don't like Buga. I'm like, what the hell is this? Kizz Daniel. But I knew at the time, I even said it. I think I even told people in this office that it's going to enter, right? But I found myself listening to it at like 1 a.m. 4 days ago. I'm like,
My jam.
I'm afraid that I went to. So when I saw when I saw the teaser, I was like, nah, I don't like this song. But the two of us were like, yeah. But when I listened to it those 2 nights ago, I messaged, I'm like, my brother, he's going though.
Put it low.
He's going. And that's absolutely.